The first recorded cricket match in Australia took place in Sydney in December 1803. Cricket is a part of Australia's national spirit and is firmly entrenched in Australian culture. It is important to Australian culture as it generates equal interest in regions of the nation, and is therefore often referred to as Australia's national sport.
Rugby league has importance in the Australian culture, as it has been one of the most popular sports since it has started in 1908. The governing body for rugby league in Australia is the Australian Rugby League Commission. Traditionally, it is known as the man's working sport, with its roots in the working class community of Northern England, compared to rugby union, which has its roots in the English public schools.
Tennis was first introduced to Australia in the late 1870s. It was a sport that was taken up enthusiastically by both men and women, both for fun and as an elite sport. Some of the Australian men and women have been ranked the world's best. We feel these sports have an important part in the Australian culture as they all get Australia participating and talking about these sports. For example, tennis has the Australian Open, which brings Australia talking.
Over time, the game of cricket has developed into different formats and with its communication methods. Cricket is now broadcasted to audiences via a range of communication mediums, such as newspapers, radio, television, social media, and the internet. Having cricket in the media has created many role models and made money for all the businesses and sponsors involved. Teams and companies benefit from having their games, such as the 2020 cricket game, showed over media platforms. For example, companies pay to have their logos on either their uniforms or on the grounds the games are played on. For example, the Sydney Sixers have the Inet logo on their uniforms. By having sponsors, the athletes and teams playing the games benefit by getting money.
There are many benefits for companies that operate the media, as well as for the athletes and sporting organisations. Rugby league have many media platforms that the sport can be viewed on. Rugby league is broadcasted through commentators before and after the game, while it is being played on live television and over the radio. Teams and companies benefit from having their games, especially on big games such as grand finals and games like State of Origin. For example, companies pay to have their logos on either the uniform or on the grounds that the games are played on, or even in their ads. For example, KFC pay to have their logo shown whenever someone scores a try. The benefit of these sponsors are that KFC have been broadcasted on live TV whenever someone scores a try, and both Channel 9 and Foxtel make benefit from putting the KFC logo on TV.
The media is recognized as the most influential method of communication available in today's society. Tennis have many media platforms that the sport can be viewed on. Tennis is broadcasted on TV and through media platforms such as newspapers and social media, for example Facebook and Twitter. Players and sponsors benefit from having media attention. Players benefit from it because they have the sponsors around them or on their clothing, which gets the money for, and the sponsors get their product broadcasted with some of the most elite players. For example, sponsors such as Nike sponsor Serena Williams, and she wears the logo on her clothes and gets paid to do so. The company Nike gets seen being used by an elite athlete. The benefit of these sponsors are that Nike has been broadcasted on live TV, which is great for them.
The impact of mass media on cricket has been significant for many reasons. It is one of the most powerful influences on people's opinions and beliefs, and including the changing of uniform to and sponsors. It being aired on prime time and even put on front pages of our newspaper articles. The cricket has changed their uniforms so they could advertise to the audience on what they are wearing. For example, they have added a VB logo on their sleeves so they can make profit from advertising it. They also air cricket on Channel 10 on the prime time of night on a Saturday, so there are more people viewing, which means more people see what they are advertising. For example, KFC and VB. Putting cricket on the front page of newspaper articles further advertises both the sport and their sponsors because it has a huge economical value. The mass media has been significant on cricket.
The impact of mass media on rugby league has been significant for many reasons, as it has been one of the most powerful influences on people's opinions and beliefs about the sport. Being aired on prime time, and it even being put on front pages of newspaper articles. The NRL has changed their uniform so they could advertise to the audience on what they are wearing. E.g., they have Indigenous and superhero uniforms. Doing this advertises multiculturalism.
The impact of mass media on tennis in Australia has been significant for many reasons, as this promotes various brands throughout the media such as magazines, players' uniform, newspapers, and on television. For example, the way the players have presented their uniform promotes the brand of Nike around the year 2000 and onwards. Throughout the Australian Open, they've promoted and partnered with the commercials such as Kia, ANZ, Rolex, Emirates, IBM, and Lacoste. As in the general tennis in Australia, promoted these commercials such as Wilson, Medibank, Hisense, and New Balance. Also, there are positive economic benefits that have been improved within the Australian Open because of the major events that have been held in Victoria, largely driven by the spending
of almost 300,000 visitors from interstate and overseas who attend events like these.
Cricket was first televised in the 1950s. It was in 1978 that cricket took on a new feel and a new audience. The game of cricket has developed into different formats and with it communication methods. Cricket is now broadcast to a global audience via a range of communication mediums such as print, radio, television, social media, and the internet. For example, Channel 9 has partnered with Cricket Australia since 1977 to broadcast in all Australian homes international cricket matches. Optus, Australia's second largest telecommunications operator, is also Cricket Australia's multimedia partner. ABC Radio has broadcast Australian cricket for over 83 years, as ABC Radio broadcasts all men's and women's home international cricket matches across a mix of analogue and digital radio in Australia, as well as covering domestic cricket finals.
Throughout the rugby league in Australia, through many games played such as State of Origin series, match results, scorelines, and reports of injuries to key players are comprehensively carried by many Australian newspapers, broadcasts through television or online. There are many Australians interested in rugby league. Some may be working overseas who are unable to ensure that they are up to date by accessing various of broadcasts through major media organisations. These include Channel 7 and Channel 9. Channel 7 focused on delivering the biggest sports events to all Australians. 7's long-term partnerships confirm the company's leadership in sports television, with the network counting to dramatically expand its coverage of major sports across its digital media broadcast, television channels, and accelerative coverage across line, mobiles, and other emerging forms of content to deliver.
Throughout the 1900s, tennis has been promoted locally, nationally, and throughout the world. Digitally, the coverage in 2015 centered on enriching the user experience by inserting rich media across various platforms, including infographics, sound maps, videos, and social media highlights, curated data, and IBM's live scoring applications, slam trackers, and AO radio clips distributed on popular live streaming platform, Audio Booming, which drew more than 700,000 listeners. All Australian Open Series websites, as well as the Tennis World website, became fully responsive. The ANZ Tennis Shots website was relaunched in January with a focus of. There was also widespread media exposure on Australian Open playoffs, providing the opportunity to introduce a new generation of Australian players and promote a growing depth of local talent. The Australian Tennis Magazine booth at Australian Open 2015 was the most successful, who also helped by the prominent position in Garden Square. Magazine sales and promotions were complemented by book sales and events.
Extreme sports are sports that are life-threatening and adventurous. The popularity for extreme sports have increased. The media have pushed big wave surfing so that people can take excessive risks. Big wave surfing is when experienced surfers challenge themselves and are towered by big waves that are at least 6 meters high. They portray it as an amazing sport as they have great footage of surfers riding big waves, which can make the viewers want to do these daring things. Amazing headlines, images, or articles are used in the media, which can help individuals see that sport is an exciting and encourage individuals in partaking in dangerous activities. The media is redirecting an individual's concept on the sport.